So I just read this really insightful article by Nathan Curtis about adding this new technique that he's calling code-only props in Figma. And I love this idea. Basically, what the idea means is that there's a hidden layer to be inserted into your component that holds a lot of the non-visual properties, things like ARIA labels and alt tags and stuff that components would typically have, and should be a part of when using agentic workflows to allow the AI to understand additional context about the component and ensuring that those things get addressed when the component is being developed. I've been working with the Figma Console MCP for some time, and I wanted to test this theory out with the Figma Console MCP. So right here is a button that I had the Figma console build, and it added one little property to it. And as you can see, it just has this one main layer and one nested text layer in here. I put together this prompt that says, so it's fully aware of this technique. So I fed it into the AI. And now what I'm asking it to do is add the demo that Nathan put in the article to this button component that I had created. So you could pause to read this. It's pretty specific, and it's basically outlining exactly step by step what Nathan had outlined in the article. I'll run the demo now and then just let it do its thing, and I'll go back through here and tell you exactly what it's doing. So I'm telling the AI that the purpose of this is to grab the Figma properties. The purpose is Figma's component properties are biased towards visual outcomes. This is almost directly from Nathan's article. And the design systems need to know how to communicate accessibility and semantics and behavioral intent to developers. This pattern helps solve that gap. So what I'm doing is I'm telling it to target this specific button component that we have here. Make sure we open this up so you can see what's going on. And I'm telling it to go through, it's finding the Figma project that I'm saying to add these things to. So I'm saying target this Figma project, find this button that's in here. So I'm just trying to save tokens by giving it explicit details to where they can find these things. And then this is word for word pretty much from the article. I'm saying do these things, position it 00, absolute, use the name code-only props. I suppose this can either be a industry accepted thing, or this can be underscored or some sort of specific labeling there, and then run through. So I'll show you what the Figma console is doing. It's navigating to that specific button that it had created. It found it. Now it's looking into the current state of it, which is finding the label property, which that's the only one that exists on it now. And then it's creating this hidden metadata container. So this is running this execute command. Oh, it does need to have this plugin running because this is the connector. So let me see. Plugin is running now. So this is called the Figma Console MCP, by the way, only because it connects through the console. The way this little plugin right here is called the Figma Desktop Bridge. So it's the way that I'm able to leverage local AI to manipulate things that are happening within the Figma environment. So this is just going through and it's adding all of those pieces to it, whatever I asked for. And you can see here it added the code-only props with the accessibility label, and then you can see it added it up here as well. So I think using something like Figma Console MCP is a great way to generate a automated way to go through all of your props. So an example of leveraging this tool could be you can create a markdown file or ask it to create a markdown file of the inventory of components that you have. You can leverage the Design Systems Assistant MCP to say, what would the likely properties and metadata be for these components? And then ask it to iterate through every component on the side of Figma. So that way, if we're keeping Figma parity with code intact, then loop through every single component that would likely benefit from having this code-only props layer to it, and then add it. So that you could do this one by one, or you can do it through having it generate a markdown file and then asking it to execute on that markdown file, which I think is a pretty great way to be able to address some of the concerns that Nathan had pointed out in the article. So anyway, I hope this benefits somebody. I think this is a really cool concept. In the past, what we've done is just manually added these properties to the component itself. In addition to that, we've also added it as the purpose and intent part of the description in the component. So that way, when the MCPs that we're using are transitioning the design to development, it always takes into consideration the accessibility rules and other non-visual parts of components through what's been spelled out in the description in the component set part. And that's worked out really well for us. But I think this is also another viable solution, and I love it. And thank you, Nathan, for posting this. I hope you enjoy.